Actie!
And
Yay!
we're live.
Yay! Ooh,
Ooh, yellow puller, orange
fidget
puller.
spinner!
Oh.
Doesn't work.
Cooler fidget spinner.
Oh, I got
So
even.
welcome to today's live stream. Sorry for the big delay, like half an hour delay. We had some. Oh, I hear myself now. We had some issues with Skype and setting up everything. We had some confusion also about who would set up what. But it's my fault. But we're live. Half an hour in, and we have 5 topics to go through today. However, the 5th one is a little bit of a question mark. So the first one is, where's your Wooting 1? Then we have, how do the Wooting production batches work? And we have how we got the idea to make an analog keyboard, was apparently quite some questions about. And then some non-related gaming news, of course, and then maybe a game showcase, though honestly, we don't have a game prepared for this show yet, or at least.
So if you're wondering why Eric is so silent, he's working on it.
Do my best.
So before we go into the where's your Wooting 1, we usually, you know what happens, people join in and they have the same question what we just covered. I want to wait a little bit longer till we have more people here. So let me post everything first. Share now. And tweeting. And Discord. Already done. Okay. So before we go to where's your Wooting 1 topic, let's first just start off with
How's the audio level? How's the video quality level? Cliche thing.
Yeah, it's a good question though, because the setup is a little bit different today.
Yeah.
So if there's any audio or video problems, please let us know so we can make some adjustments. There's a great introduction question here. Hi, are you the company who makes the analog keyboards? Yes, we are. So maybe
Yeah, you basically got the whole company here in the stream, so.
You see all the employees on the stream.
all the employees ruled by our great ruler, the man with the black on his teeth. Oh, back. I thought it was black on your teeth, but it says back to
Also
back
focus
to
back to the blue. I have no idea why it says that. It's kind of my pajama shirt, to be honest.
Isn't it even a blue shirt?
No, it's not even a blue shirt. So, so to
Well, but we could start today with what's a nice game Eric has that is great for the live stream today.
Oh, that's a good question.
I think 2 minutes.
What is a great game that we can show on the live stream?
Now looking through my library, I'm kind of crying. I mean, I have so many
Hopefully
games,
it's a
but
game.
Oh, we can also talk about Wootility and firmware improvements, which we launched on Friday.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
So maybe we should just jump into that topic. Let me first start off with we ended the vlog with us going back to Taiwan, and I just want to say is that so we ended up with that, but the production was still running when we went back.
Oh,
And today, the production finished. All the keyboards, not today, sorry, yesterday, Saturday, the whole production finished. All the keyboards are in boxes, on pallets, and it's all done.
yay!
So that's yay. Okay, now let's jump into the Wootility, and then afterwards we'll talk about when your Wooting 1 is going to arrive.
Yes,
Oh, sorry about people.
I've opened my own utility, but I have to delete some profiles because some names are kind of profane of the profiles. So
Okay, no problem.
I wonder
So
if we should be like more enthusiastic about the fact that all the keyboards are actually done, or the first batch is done.
Yeah, it's just, I guess we should. But I don't know, it feels like this was just like a step we've been. Whoa, what happened to the screener? Okay, this was just a step we were waiting for such a long time for, and
Yeah, we should need like a cake or something.
Champagne.
yeah,
celebrate.
yeah, but we're not there yet. The keywords still need to be delivered, and I'm nervous about what comes after. Like this production step feels like this was like something that should have happened like 4 months back or something, or 3 months back or whatever it was, and
Sure.
and now I just feel really like this was so behind us. It's really about these keywords just getting delivered.
You're making it sound like such a grind.
Yeah, it is. But
Well, I mean, after all the struggle, man,
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but it's still, I mean, it's still out there, and well, I mean, it's still in the factory, right? It's still not, is it? I don't know. I don't know
it's
what
still in the
current
factory on pallets. Yeah, I'm going to arrange the pickup this Monday, so
tomorrow.
and that should happen quite fast. Yeah, so it's tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh.
So that's
Oh wait,
pretty cool.
that's the first topic, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's yeah.
Oh
I'm
my
ju-
god! Spoiler alert.
No, that's the first topic. So.
Well, the
So
thing is,
before we jump into the first topic about where is your Wooting one, right? Where we go. I don't want to go too deep into now because still more people will come. Probably, who knows? Let's go into the Wootility. Erik is going to show you this really awesome Wootility update we did.
okay, so the thing is, the Wootility now automatically updates. So when Jeroen pushes something, well, at least in this version, we all get a live update without us having to download anything new. So that's pretty epic. It also has a firmware update, but unfortunately, the keyboard I have here is already updated completely. So maybe I can show it with other keyboard that didn't have a firmware update, how it will look like. So that's pretty cool. But first of all, the big improvement, which you already had in the Wootility older version, was profile sharing, where you could share code and give it to somebody else, and you can copy profiles from each other. We now have a more beautiful version of the profile manager. So if Jeroen is a really cool guy, he can send his profile to me and I can load it in.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh wait.
Okay, but first of all, I'm gonna do a showcase. So, for example, I'm having here an analog profile 1, and let's make the colors all equally beautiful. And let's say I want to have it for Overwatch, so I'm just binding the WASD on the left joystick, and I'm setting it to the keyboard, and maybe add some little spice to the color scheme, so everybody knows where WASD is. And now I have this profile, but Jeroen also wants this profile because Jeroen loves to play Overwatch. So now I can say, well, this is my Overwatch
Well, you can try this one.
profile.
Wait.
You can try Jeroen's profile. He can share with you.
Yeah, but first I'm gonna share this profile with Jeroen. It's awesome.
Yeah, I have code for you. Wait.
Spine it to left joystick.
Okay.
Oh, I need to work my writing. Then I can say I want to save my digital analog profile 1. I'm saving it, and now here my profile list. And Jeroen is sending me a.
You should send it in the. Oh no, yeah. No, I was thinking the chat. If you send it in chat.
Oh,
you
I
can
can
see
send the
the
chat.
code.
Yeah.
Oh, if you put it
This
in
is
the chat-
actually Mr. Oh wait, shouldn't spoil.
Oh, he also shared it now.
Yeah.
So Mr. Peasant, Mr. Peasant made this awesome profile of his own. I think it's a digital profile though, right? And Mr. Peasant is one of the beta testers, so he has a keyboard. He made this profile and he's now sharing it with Erik.
How can I close the chat of Skype? Like this? Yeah, like this. What? Who's sharing what with me?
There's a link
Mr.
in,
Peasant on
our
the
code
live
chat.
chat. But it's, yeah, in the live chat. Yeah.
Oh, in the live chat. Okay, I'm gonna.
In the
copy that.
meanwhile, there's a question you can answer, Jeroen. Only direct sharing, question mark, or do you plan some database where people can just grab upvoted profiles?
Yeah, so right now it only does direct sharing, since that is by far the easiest to implement, and also in our case, I'm personally a big fan of the system because it doesn't require anyone to register accounts or for us to keep some sort of database. So that's why we choose for this sort of direct sharing. But in the future, we do want to set something up, because what we sort of want to aim for is that for every game you can just find like the most popular profile there is. But we're not 100% sure yet how we will implement that.
Yeah.
So it's still...
It's a debate we have like every week, how we should host it, how we should do it. But I think the best solution is to have it somewhere in Wootility and make it really simple, like Reddit style. So for example, you have a database, you search for Grand Theft Auto 5 and you see like all these different profiles from Grand Theft Auto 5, and if you like one you can load it, and if you really like it you can just like upvote it, and they have a really simple system with upvotes, and well, maybe only upvotes appreciate this profile, and so the one with the most things, most likes or something will be on top, so you can always simply implement it. So I just copy the code and I paste it here in my import profile code, and I'm importing it, and luckily this isn't working.
This is the demo of it.
Do you already imported it before, or?
No.
Demo effect.
So good.
I've read it, but Reddit is definitely a good idea. I think there is a Wooting subreddit reserved right now for us, and it is one of the things we'll start with. But I don't know if you've joined one of the other live streams, you know that Jeroen has this really cool idea of wanting to see how we can get as much as possible happening in Discord instead of having it fragmented somewhere else, and more utilize Discord.
But already mentions that he says Reddit ? And I think my sort of Discord idea sort of plays into that, because if you use a site like Reddit, you can sort of have your community in one place, and because most people that use keyword probably have Reddit accounts anyway, so you don't really need like a separate website or hosting platform. But right now we already sort of established Discord as our go-to platform for everyone, and I think it's only me of the three who is actually active on Reddit as well. So
Whoa.
are you? I don't know.
I'm not posting on Reddit though.
I'm also learning that I'm opening my Reddits every day, but I never post, never upvote.
Sometimes comment though.
Never.
Depends.
Never. Okay, so I just loaded 2 codes, and they're both from Mr. Pleasant, and this one you made during the stream, I guess, Mr. Pleasant, and the description is hello stream, so let's see what that is. Just gonna import the colors now to my digital profile.
Alright, Cop Vampire, what's up?
And I must say, Mr. Pleasant, actually have a really awful taste for colors. Looks.
And now it's being bared. Everybody can see.
Okay,
but when I loaded it onto the keyboard, I also loaded it, and it was quite okay when you see it. But still, it's a bunch of stuff. Yeah. But I'm assuming there's a reason.
It demonstrates the wide array of colors available on the Wooting one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sure does.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Perks of being colorblind. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Well,
Alright, so
it's beautiful.
So this is the first update. I mean, this is the latest update of the Wootility, and it's a big one because of what Erik mentioned. Have the Wootility can update itself now, and you can update your firmware.
Yep.
And the next update,
even the update, the firmware has some small changes already implemented, and that is the double keystroke is now currently in the firmware, so it only needs to be implemented in the Wootility. So we're working on that. And then there's also a sort of a sleeping mode where if your PC goes into standby or turns off, then it will lower the brightness of your LEDs. And it will also, what's also very important is that it will decrease the rate of which it will scan your keyboard. So we have this optical keyboard and this infrared LEDs, which is used to measure how far down you press the key. And those can degrade over time. And while the lifetime should be enough to just go full speed all the time, we just did it as a safety measure. So.
Okay, and this is also pretty cool. So this is like the firmware update style, because I just grabbed a older unupdated Wooting one.
Oh, okay, awesome.
And it's pretty cool because it works like it should work. I just see a bunch of text, and I press update now. And now my keyboard turns off. It's completely off now. And when everything goes alright, the film update will be successful in a few seconds. And bam, we had an updated Wooting 1.
Our stream is delayed. I'm looking at the streamer. Of course, it's so
good.
And the thing is, because all these profiles are now stored locally on my machine, like somewhere, these profiles, I just can upload my digital profile with my nice rainbow effect colors and load on this keyboard. And now I have like
for all those guys with multiple Wooting 1s.
And I have like only beautiful Wooting 1s and stuff. And maybe I should also update the golden Wooting 1. Oh man, I have so
you have
many
it
ones.
with you? There's the golden version?
Yes, I have the golden version with me.
Okay,
Loving it. This is like my...
Is that the golden?
Oh
wait, it's delayed, sorry. Yeah.
This is the golden one. I just bring it around. I have this one always in my bag just to show to other people how cool it is. But it isn't working that properly because the top plate is kind of messed up. So I can't fit the shift in. So that's kind of a bad thing. But it's really nice because if I do some development on my MacBook, I always have this one in my bag. That's it.
So stylish, man.
So stylish.
All you need is a gold chain and a gold necklace. Wait, it's the same. Gold chain and a golden arm band,
Bracelet?
is it?
Bracelet.
No.
Bracelet.
Bracelet. Jesus.
Bracelet, yeah. But necklace is also, you should also have a gold necklace and everything.
Nah, I think I would rather have like an orange bracelet so it would fit my puller ring. No, never mind. We should go to the next topic.
So just to cover it, because you just showed one of the other top plates. Just to cover top plates itself, because it's definitely going to have this question is, there will be different top plates available in the future, but right now we're still experimenting with it and looking at what looks okay or not. Because as you can see from the gold one, it looks pretty fun, but I don't know if it looks good though.
Well, in my opinion, it looks really good because the only thing I really dislike is the gold. This kind of yellow goldish doesn't really match the black. Normally we'd say like, oh, black and gold really matches well, but in this case, I think it would be nice if it's like white or something, white with gold.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Yeah, I think we had like multiple samples before. And it's pretty hard to pull off like different colors. I think you need to match them with keycaps or something as well. Because the all black sort of...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was also thinking like doing this somewhere when I have a bit more free time. I would like completely customize a Wooting 1. So I would spray paint the bottom case properly and do some things with the top plate, and maybe I can make it look really cool.
Yeah.
That will help a lot.
Yeah.
But I guess because it's the whole top plate that changes color, the keycaps influence the aesthetics so much at that point, right, when it's not black. As in with other cases, it's just the side, or the outside casing. If you have a smaller version, or you see other companies have these swappable top plates also, but it's just like edges, not like the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so let's jump into the actual first topic now, because I see we're reaching our
peak performance.
We're at our prime. So we're actually Wooting 1, and we just talked a little bit about the topic at all the keyboards finished production on Saturday, which was yesterday, and it was a very, very slow process, the production, that we intend to improve for the next one. That's a whole different story. Now they're on the pallet. I'm going to arrange pickups, the pickup tomorrow, and then it should go onto an airplane to two different locations, which is one is in Netherlands, another one is in the US, and we have a fulfillment center in those two locations, and then from those fulfillment centers it will go to you guys. So when the question comes about taxes, for example, import, you don't have to worry about import in general. because unless you live outside of Europe or US, because we import the keyboards into the country first before we ship it to you. So, and when can you expect it then? I think the whole process is definitely going to take another 2 weeks, maybe 3, before you see the keyboard. I'm expecting that the whole flight, if they do the pickup on, for example, Thursday, and whole flight can take up to 5 days with transit and all. And then it's a big question mark, what's customs going to do when we're importing it? Because we're a new company and the first time we're importing into both Europe and US, so we could get flagged and there will be some questions or something like that. So we'll see what happens. Cool. Yep.
Everyone received
My
tracking
camera's
numbers,
very high,
tracking
by the way.
numbers when they're shipped off. Calder looks like he has a rack, or like this, or what?
I do. I definitely do. Want to feel?
China, man. China gets to you.
China gets to you.
Anyway, the tracking numbers, there will be tracking numbers for all the goods, and we do intend to send everybody tracking number. Just don't know how to automate it yet, so I'm a little bit afraid it's a lot of manual work at this point. Still looking at how to automate it, but we tend to send everybody their tracking number once it's shipped off. Oh, and so for Asia, it's a little bit different. So this is the third shipment. We have a boat shipment going to Taiwan, and then from Taiwan, we're shipping it with EMS throughout Asia. And I forgot if it's regular EMS. Is it EMS? Yeah, EMS. Yeah. So if you're in Asia region and you expect to receive the keyboard, you have to watch out for customs, who will send a lower value invoice with the keyboard, so you don't have high custom fees. But that's kind of where it ends. We cannot help any of the customs other than that. So I hope that if there's any more questions about the shipping, you're welcome to ask. I hope that kind of clarifies what you can expect and when you can expect to receive the Wooting one.
No. So any, because I was reading about the shift point and they had issues with importing in Germany or something, or Eastern Europe, because they didn't import directly in Europe, right?
Yeah, I didn't. I was thinking also about Zimas. That's why I'm mentioning it, because they had a lot of issues with import, and because they shipped a lot from Hong Kong, and generally shipping from Hong Kong as a company, it's very easy. It's very beneficial, and you can get quite cheap rates shipping from Hong Kong directly. But yeah, that's the big problem you will face, especially in Europe, where they can be a lot more bitching about importations. And for example, in the Netherlands, if you import anything from outside of Europe, once it gets at customs and they stop the goods because they check it and they're like, hey, wait a minute, this is not a gift. In Europe, they don't do gifts just like that, by the way. It doesn't exist for Kickstarter gifts. And they'll have a question mark like, hey, wait a minute, maybe the value of the product is too low, or maybe it's shipped as a gift plus the value is low, and they'll take a look online, which happened to SwiftPoint, and they'll see that, oh my God, this mouse costs $220, and maybe on the invoice it said like $50, who knows. So then they'll rectify it, they'll flag the company, and then everything that gets imported from there on gets checked. And then you have to, in the Netherlands, pay 21% more over the product value plus the shipping cost, and the shipping cost could cost like $30 easily, if not more.
Yeah, I remember paying like I ordered this keyboard from Mastrop. The keyboard itself was not that expensive, like 70 or 80, and I had to pay like 30 euros to the delivery guy.
Yeah, that's happens in Europe a lot more. In Asia region, I think you don't have to be too afraid for it, but it really depends on your country and how strict they are on customs. So the value we put on the keyword will be lower, but it will not be that low that they'll flag it, hopefully. So we'll try, but there's no guarantee. This is how it is.
Yeah. Now we have it on video record as well that we're doing this caller. So
Uh-oh.
if anything from the Philippines government's watching, then
Uh-oh.
Just kidding, just kidding. We lied.
It's all a joke.
Like, I mean, we still ship it into Asia. We can still ship
our
it as a
product
gift.
is called the Z Mouse. If you see anything shipped by Z Mouse,
Yeah.
Okay, good news. The stream can be laggy for like 1 minute, a little bit, because I'm downloading a game.
Nice.
what?
Good idea. The stream could be laggy because he's downloading a game.
Yeah, but it's like I've got this massive super internet here. The game's only like 2 gigabytes big, so it downloads pretty fast. We only have like 30 seconds left.
Hoping it's alright.
I'm also hoping.
I
it's
guess
alright.
for the stream you're uploading, right? So, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm
It's
no,
fine,
no,
right?
no. I'm downloading like the two of you. You know, like your video.
Yeah.
Your videos.
Yeah.
downloading that
Color's
stuff.
pretty big now, so take a lot of.
Okay, but going back to a point,
So
what we discussed earlier in the stream was if we're excited that the whole production is finished and it's now being sent to the people and we should open a bottle of champagne or something. I think the point where I really celebrate is when everybody, or at least the Kickstarter backers and the Batch 1 backers, have their keyboard on the desk, nice and safe without any problems, and they
Yeah,
all
true.
work as they should work, and people are excited about it. And of course there will be some problems and some people will have issues, but those are things we can fix from a distance, hopefully. And when everything is settled, so the whole storm is settled, then I'm really happy, and maybe in a stream we'll open a bottle of champagne once. Well, probably sect, because that's only like €3 per bottle.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely the moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
And seeing people using the keyboard, that's really going to make me feel very excited.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
gonna
next
be
time
really
people in
great.
chat can like type on the keyboard.
Woo! So our second topic related to this is about the production batches and how they work. And in between, okay, Peasant is already answering this. Where is Wooting based, by the way? So we have Erik right now is in the Netherlands, and Jeroen and I are in Taiwan. And I personally live in Taiwan, and Jeroen is intending to stay here for at least a year. So
It's
okay, sorry. So the batches, right now we're producing what was called production batch 1, and this production batch is basically all the Kickstarter backers and early pre-orders of last year and some of this year as well. And I said it also on Discord if you want to double check about which batch which batch you're part of. You can, the general rule of thumb is everything before March is batch 1. Anything after March could be batch 2. It's kind of dependent. And you can always double check with us. And if you're ordering on the web store right now, if it's a US keyboard, US ANSI keyboard, 87 key keyboard, then you're part of batch 2. And batch 2 is the upcoming production we're planning to do as soon as we can get things running faster. And after that, soon enough, we'll do the ISO keyboards, which I guess will be batch 3, you would have to call it. But that's when we're doing the ISO keyboards, which are the 88 keyboards with all the languages. And maybe that's something interesting to share also about languages, Erik, how we changed it.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm setting up again.
Oh, okay. So let me introduce it here, is that Europe has a lot of different languages for keyboards, and Europe is awesome, but it's not so awesome when it comes to languages on keyboards, because that also means every keyboard, even though it's exactly the same keyboard, needs different keycaps for the different languages. And it was a big issue during Kickstarter, and the solution we had at the time was by giving all the ISO is basically the big enter layout on the keyboard, and which most countries use in Europe. but giving them extra keycaps so that when they receive the keyboard, which is going to be for this first batch a Nordic layout keyboard, they can change the keycaps into their language with our little guide. And that way we could supply a lot more. We could just produce one batch of same language keyboards and then deliver it to multiple country languages, keyboards, blah, blah, blah. But the problem is that making those extra keycaps is kind of a waste, and keep making enough of them, because we had 2 versions for Europe divided in 2, was difficult. And the question was, how are we still going to sell to different European countries without making it too troublesome for ourselves and also for the end user? And in the end, we decided to do the same style, but different languages. And which languages are those? Still setting up the game. Those languages are German, French, Switzerland, let's see, Portuguese, and UK. I think that's all 5 languages. Yeah, so those are the 5 languages we're supporting now in Europe. And that's one of the ways we can still supply ISO keyboards.
Dimitri did a... T-Technology said Dimitri did a mini review though. I think you're talking about the Linus Tech Tips video, I guess, which is... I mean, it's not really a review in the way that the video was more aimed to be about optical keyboards in general, I think. That was at least what they said their aim of the video was to us. For the rest of the review, there's still like a date set, which we set about at the same time that the keyboards will be delivered. So, and the reason is that we didn't want a bunch of reviews released before people even got their keyboards themselves. So, thought it would look kind of weird. And then T-Technology also asks, did you patent these designs and tech though? The technology themselves is not really owned by us, in that we just use the FlareTech switch in our keyboard. And the FlareTech switch technology is all patented and stuff, but not by us. It's all from our manufacturer. So.
Yeah, the FlareTech switch is not from us.
Yeah. Yeah, and like Mr. Pleasant said, T-Tech ask away, that's why the stream exists. Yeah, exactly. And it's also questions like what you're asking us also sort of keeps the stream alive. And then it makes it more interesting because if there's no questions, you don't really know what to talk about, I guess. As in you sort of have to think about what to talk about all the time, and you don't really know if you're sort of connecting with your audience, I think. So please do.
Yeah, another thing to mention about the FlareTech switches is that you can see there are some other keyboards announced or released with FlareTech switches, perhaps. But those FlareTech switches are not the same type of switches that we're using. So basically the FlareTech switches exist out of an analog version and a digital version. And we're the only ones using an analog version of the switch, and other manufacturers are using a digital version. And there is a hardware difference in the switch itself. Plus, and this is, I don't know why this is not very logic to a lot of people. You cannot buy FlareTech switches, analog switches, install on a keyboard, and then all of a sudden have analog on the keyboard. For multiple reasons, but one of the ones that I thought would have been obvious was that you need to have an IRPT on the PCB. So.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's confusing because we use the term like cherry MX compatible for the keycaps, but
yeah,
that doesn't mean. Yeah, but it's also but there's also, because optical switches are like more recently more of a hype, so there's like a bunch of terms thrown around, and there's not really any set terms for things. So makes it definitely
I guess
makes
it's
it more
very new. You see here that
Yeah.
GT Technology says, yeah, the Tesoro and Bloody keyboard, right? So I guess that's why it's also a bit confusing. There's a lot of different optical switches on the market right now. So Tesoro has one they made together with Gatoron, which is different, and Bloody made their own switches, which is from A4 Tech. It's a daughter company of A4 Tech. But both those switches and optical technology work in their IR is placed horizontally to make it basically horizontally. And the way it works is just it breaks the connection between the IR and PT, and then it knows it's on or off. But there's no analog involved. As in, our IR PT is faced vertically, so upwards, and it goes through the switch and then back down again, and depending on how far down you press the key, a lens will move and increase or decrease the intensity of the light.
Yeah. We have a few more interesting questions. G Technology asks, why do you have so little subs? Everyone must be excited for revolutionary keyboards. It's all the thing with you can definitely notice that, especially with the Linus Tech Tips video, and then you read the reactions and also their posts on Reddit, is that there's a lot of anxiety, but also anxiety. That's the word.
Yeah.
Anxiety. No, wait, that's not a word, is it?
No, you have anxiety.
Yeah,
I don't know how to pronounce it correctly though.
Yeah, me
Like
neither.
words,
Anyway, the thing is, I feel like there's a lot of people who sort of, you always have the people that jump in immediately, and also the people that sort of wait. And I think that is a big factor. And the second factor is what Pleasant said, is that we're not a used company throwing cash around, which is also we're sort of doing that right now on purpose, because we just want to focus on making the keyboard good first with the with like sort of the fan base we have, and then sort of push it to the next level. Yeah.
It's one of the more difficult things to do for us, as a small company. And marketing in itself, and doing that right, good and right, it's not easy.
It's also not cheap.
And it's not cheap, if you're doing serious marketing and advertising, it's not cheap. So you should imagine also for when we did the Kickstarter, for example, I mean, for us, it's also a learning process of what is the right way and how can we do it in a way that we feel comfortable with, but also feel fits with what we want, from what we expect from ourselves and from the company. But on the other side, it's also about how we use the money and where do we budget it. And basically, especially after the Kickstarter, we budget like most of it to everything basically towards making the product and getting it to the market, and not so much on this whole part of marketing and getting more people jumping onto the train.
Which I think is because especially with this technology, you first need to get it right, because you can sell a product, especially around this idea, like crazy, of course. But if you cannot even make it, what's the point?
Exactly. Yeah, and you'll see, I think, especially with a lot of Kickstarters, you'll see that a lot of their budget goes to marketing itself.
Go back to you. Sorry, yeah.
Oh yeah, so you see that a lot of their budget goes to marketing in general, and even after the Kickstarter, they'll still use a big bunch of that budget to continue marketing. But for us also, it's like we don't know what's going to happen, you know? I mean, we've had 2 delays, and you can see that we went from last year Kickstarter expecting to release on November, and now it's July now, starting July. And if we would have spent the budget based on getting out on November, that would not be around right now.
No,
that would be really tough.
Okay.
And
another good question. Sorry, let's go to Flamification, because he was sort of first. I asked about the time frame for batch 2 and 3 production. In case you missed it. Sorry about missing it. Are they produced in August or even later? Calder?
So batch 2 is... now I see. I was just showing a picture of the boxes being on pallets. 2 of the pallets. There's more. So batch 2 is supposed to produce in this month. We wanted it to happen as soon as possible, but I honestly don't have a clear time frame for it right now, because we want to make the whole production go faster. We can't do another production the same way we did it this time. Went too slow. And then batch 3 is probably going to produce beginning in August. Yeah. So you're not too wrong though. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we have 2 questions which sort of boil down to the same thing, and that is the talking keyword says, what prevents other manufacturing from using the analog switches? And then Stinky Ray also says, do you guys have exclusivity agreement with Betamax on the analog switches? So, Calder, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, sure. So we don't particularly have an exclusivity agreement with Betamax.
Calder,
and
shut up.
analogs. What?
Take his money.
Okay. So there's no exclusive agreement per se. Honestly, we're also not too interested in being exclusive. But there's this big part that comes with these switches. So there's a big part of these switches that essentially you need us to be there. Meaning that FlareTech switch in itself, they're the hardware side of things, but they're not the thing that makes it run analog, and not what makes it run in a game and makes the experience good in itself. And to make it work analog in the right way, and in a good way, also means you need to build up a firmware, and that's a quite big expense to make from scratch, because that's what you have to do. You have to make the firmware from scratch, and a lot of these is a side that we're working on with Wooting. Makes analog switch in itself the FlareTech switches, analog FlareTech switches, very, how would I say, dependent on our developments, to put it very simple.
Yeah, it's also, we're sort of paving the road for analog keywords, but there's also another point in that it's not necessarily a bad thing for us if let's say a big name jumps on analog switches, right? And then analog keyboards are going to be a real thing. Then it's not like we'll just get blown out of the market immediately, right? There's also like an opportunity there for us.
This comes back to what we said at the Kickstarter, and we always keep saying is, the goal here is to make analog keyboards an industry standard. And by doing exclusivities, licensing, and all that kind of crap, it's not going to happen. So even if a smaller company decides we want to make an analog keyboard, maybe with the FlareTech switch, maybe with some other technology, that's already a major leap forward.
Yeah.
And the reason why, and this comes back to the marketing part, like the reason why we don't go very heavy on advertising and marketing also is that. Sorry?
Oh, Flamification said he's going to get some food, so.
Oh, all right. Oh, enjoy your meal. Okay. So when it comes to the whole marketing point, again, is we're more focused on making the customers we have right now, and making everybody that owns a keyword right now, try to make that experience as good as possible, and trying to keep you guys interested in what we're doing, and also very involved with what we're doing.
And also, I won't say using your experience, but more like people that receive the keyword, the Kickstarter keywords, and we always said this, that analog keywords won't work 100% all the time. So all the people, especially the Kickstarters, they will also help us in making this better, because they will test out with a bunch of different games. They'll probably think of possibilities where we haven't even thought of. I mean, that's what we're hoping for, of course. and it'll
That's the biggest
also
hope, yeah.
increase the voice or the voice required to actually make changes in games to improve the support for analog keyboards. So there's also a road there.
So then comes this question that naturally always comes out and everybody would worry about when you're doing something like we're doing. So what do you think would happen if Crosshair or some other big brand were to come along and recreate your analog firmware within a couple of months and release those within the same month?
I think besides the whole story, I think you gravely underestimate how long it takes to develop a hardware product.
Yeah.
Even
Especially
with a lot of money and experience, companies Corsair or Razer should have.
Even just producing and shipping, and then making it fit within your whole release plan, including events, other products you have, other developments you have running. That's so a few months is not very reasonable, especially not for Corsair, for a company as big as Corsair.
Maybe a good example is, ASUS has this new keyboard where you can change sides of the numpad. I forgot.
Oh yeah.
Republic of the Gamers. You have like this numpad swapping around keyboard. I think that was introduced like 3 years ago on Computex as a prototype idea, and they were still finishing it. And we're 3 years later, it's now on the market.
What if they started already? What if?
Oh, that would be very interesting.
Yeah, that would be very, very interesting. I don't think so. We cannot really be 100% sure because, we know there's interest, but like I said, it's a new thing, and a big company is not gonna jump immediately on a new technology. They need someone else to sort of try. For us, it's sort of an opportunity to do something cool, make something new, and then later a company like Corsair can jump in and use this sort of already tried out technology and implement it in their keyboards and bring it to the bigger market. That's what usually happens. It will be I will be very, very surprised if Corsair comes out with an analog keyboard right now. That will be insane.
Especially since they've been doing year-over-year Cherry exclusive stuff. They haven't even jumped on the optical bandwagon.
Or what about all the other Chinese switches, which are getting better and better and better? The Gateron and the Cal switches.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So this is just mention a couple of things that people said regarding this topic. I wouldn't worry, from Country Mac, for example, I wouldn't worry about marketing yet, as the uniqueness of the keyboard markets itself. That's very true.
But nothing runs by itself. But it's definitely true.
Okay.
I think you know how sometimes people say you need to if you make a good product, it sells itself. That's not true. I just want to say that, okay? Because even if you make a good product, if nobody knows about it, it's not going to sell. So there's definitely some stuff you need to do.
But I feel like if you make an interesting, if you look at the Linus Tech Tips video, for example, which created a lot of interest, let's say, but it's also like a lot of people already knew about the keyboard and already talked to us before. Maybe they watched the video before, and maybe they watched the stream before, so they could also jump in with any information they already know about the keyboard.
Yeah, I mean,
just that making it available. So, yeah.
In general,
sending those guys a keyboard in the first place and getting in touch with them. It's also.
I don't want to be the party pooper, but let's get back on the whole scheduled track.
Oh yeah, sorry. There's just a lot of interest from the chat, so.
I know.
I think it's a really interesting topic, also.
Yeah, it's one we also talk about a lot. Maybe not really recently, because we've been so much sort of stuck in this whole production cycle. That's more difficult to look in the future.
No, but the main reason why I'm saying is we should get back in the schedule is because within 1 hour, the cafe music, bossa nova, jazz, instrumental, background music stops.
Oh no! Luckily, there are like a million other. Isn't it like a hype now, or maybe a few weeks ago on YouTube, where you have all these lo-fi study channels?
I don't know.
Seen those? No. Never mind.
So
I love to
anyway,
type on those. Yeah, we all do.
I think what you're going to see from our side happening on the marketing side, and let's say that from a marketing side, what we're not doing at the moment is pushing people to go over to purchase. That is really pushing people to go over to purchase. Right now, what we're going to be doing is just let people know that we exist. And that starts with, for example, we saw online is the optical keyboard video. But it also is with other YouTubers starting to do reviews, and hopefully people sharing also about their experience with the keyboard, and in that way expanding. That's why we want to focus a bit more on you guys also, make sure your experience is good and make sure we can communicate and stay in good contact with you directly, instead of focusing too much on, you know, how are we communicating to the outside and trying to get more acquisitions. Because in the end, if your experience is good and if you're enjoying the keyboard, then the product itself will sell itself.
We are brainwashing you.
Yeah,
That's why we have this specific setup from 3 screens and this plant here. It's all hypnosis.
Okay. So then we get to the.
I just had a really good idea for next stream.
Okay.
We should do really like Twitch streamer style, but instead with subs. Like for example, if I get and the next 250 subs, you have like this counter, and then the next time I'll do a unicorn cosplay stream. We're gonna do it with keyboard. So if we sell like 250 during the stream, we're gonna do a unicorn cosplay stream. And then each week something.
I really
different.
hate this kind of crap.
No, we should really do it.
Start doing giveaways. Sorry.
Okay.
So when does Calder take off his shirt? 500?
Nah,
I don't think
70.
that's even allowed anymore on Twitch, is it?
Let's start with 70.
Oh god.
Keyboard cosplay.
I really hate that kind of stuff.
Keyboard cosplay will be so sick.
Oh my god.
Keyboard cosplay
You have
is easy,
these,
right?
These costumes where you sort of you're a walking telephone, right? Maybe you can also make something like that with a keyboard.
I'm a keyboard now.
The first shirt we're going to make is the keyboard at the boob area, and then we're going to magnify it at the boob area, so it looks like a half boob. So, we can quote Linus or Luke, I guess. We can quote Luke. Feels like typing on boobs.
Stick another keyboard on top of your own set for every 100 keyboards we sell on stream. It's good.
Okay, well, we'll have the first buyer already for that t-shirt. Talking keyboard. Would generally buy that t-shirt. I want it. I'm going to let's just jump to the third topic. Though I have to say that this kind of idea of making simple merchandise based on things that happen, which is fun, you know, is something definitely interested in.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Okay, so the third topic is how we got the idea to make an analog keyboard. Oh right, I forgot we had this topic.
Yeah.
So
it was from a user blanks on Discord. He asked it to me in a private message, and I know we talked about it before, or maybe we never talked about it before, because I looked at the blogs and some other vlogs and some videos and some streams.
There was this one time during New Year's stream that we did this giant sort of history.
Oh, true, we did.
True, but it was more like also the history how we got to meet each other and how we got the band back together to start this adventure. But we never. Let's just keep it briefly on where do we get the idea how to make an analog keyboard.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I mean,
I guess on how long you have to make the story.
Yeah, we're gonna do the short version. The short version really comes down to that. I have to be honest that it was not that all of a sudden we had this idea, let's make an analog keyboard and how are we going to do this. Actually, the way it happened was more I was walking at Computex and I saw the FlareText switch in a prototype version, and seeing it how it worked and what they were doing. My big question was, why are you not making an analog keyboard, and who's trying to make one? Because that would be really interesting. And I think, you know, this idea of analog keyboard in general, everybody at one point will come with the idea of like, what? Hey, wait a minute, why does that exist yet? We sometimes even have people that Google it and they'll send us they'll say, oh, I had this idea as well. So I think the idea of analog keyboard in general is not per se, you know, like, whoa, my God, why? Yeah, super new idea. But the problem with analog keyboards is that it's never been implemented well, and it's never been done correctly, and definitely not for gaming. And this FlareText switch at the time, just it looked like it had a lot of opportunity to make it happen, though at that time didn't know all the history of other analog keyboards, like Microsoft making a membrane analog keyboard, which was pressure sensitive.
Back in the year 2000.
But it was 2008, I think. So there's a bunch of stuff already tried before. Also with optical, so all these new optical switches, for example, is also not really new per se, because it's also old technology then. But it's just that it's being implemented. The implementation now can be done much better, and it's actually more viable. And I kind of, well, to bring up one more last thing, is kind of like how you look at, for example, tablets right now work very well, but those have also existed for like 20 years or 15 years.
Yeah.
It's not new.
It's a combination. It's definitely a combination of the sort of the market being ready and the technology being ready, because recently, like mechanical keyboards in general have been such a hype, especially under the gaming community. So people, so there's space for more expensive mechanical keyboards.
Yeah. So yeah, because in the 90s, when it went to membrane keyboards, the budget for keyboards in general is really this small, very small, and you can't make an analog keyboard from that. So that's a very good point also. So comes back to that time saw it, and then it was getting into conversation and even being able to start a project, and that's where there's a lot of that was a big adventure. But during that time is when Eric got involved, and we're like, what can we do? And also, which is it's detailed, but a week before we had a very important meeting about how we're going to do this, and to get the project to get started with this keyboard. We didn't have Jeroen yet, and I have no idea what we were thinking at the time. But that's when Jeroen also jumped into the project, and we were able to sell a viable story of how we're going to make a analog keyboard, and we started a project.
Well, I think the highlight I always address in this conversation, or this story, is when Carlo discovered the FlareText switches on Computex a few years ago. I think when he talked to the guys there at the ADMX booth, he called me on Skype, and I was like, "Oh, Eric, I now got an idea with FlareText switches, optical, and we can make an analog keyboard, you know, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Well, the idea sounds really cool, but no, that's a really stupid idea, because what do we know about? I mean, we have a passion for mechanical keyboards, so what do we know about keyboards and hardware manufacturing and logistics and marketing and blah blah?" And I said, "No, Carl, I'm not joining this madness." So I hung up the phone. And the next day, Carl called me again. I was like, "No, I talked again to the guys at the ADMX, and it's really exciting, and we can do it, and we just have to deliver a design, and they will make a keyboard, and we have to somehow implement the analog thing, and this is a thing we can work it out. And I feel like if we don't do this now, it's gonna be a loss, and I'm gonna always regret it, and blah blah." I was like, "No, Carl, no, I'm not joining this madness." And then I think it was the time was on a Friday, and during that weekend I was thinking about it. I was like, yeah, what am I gonna do the next 2 years, you know? Okay, finish my school and stuff, but now I've got like summer vacation, I got a lot of free time, don't really need money or something because you got this maximum studiefinanciering. And that Monday I think I called Carl back and said like, "Okay, what's the plan?" And then I think a week or two later we got well, Jeroen was actually pretty excited because I think after one phone call with Jeroen was like, yeah, sure, let's do it, go.
Yeah, I was in the exact same point, and then I was just graduating. I was graduating in this company. I wasn't very happy yet, so for me it was a very good timing as well. So I immediately jumped in.
But the only thing that went through my mind that time was when I saw it and I shared about it with Jenny the first time, I got this really big chill in my spine, and I really felt this is it. You know, there's nothing else, and I was just highly convinced of myself and highly motivated, and whatever they would throw at me was just a challenge in the end and not a barrier. So that's why also with Erik and with Jeroen. With Jeroen I think Jeroen is the most funny part, because only reason why I got in contact with Jeroen is because I remembered this like video I once saw a very long time ago, and I think it was on Facebook, with Jeroen playing around with some kind of like device and game. I was like, whoa, Jeroen looks very engineering. I should give him a call and see how related he is with it. And we've known each other for a long time, but just, you know, it's like we gamed a lot with each other in the past, and we had some live meetups multiple times, but that's it, you know. So it was very funny. I want to jump onto this question in the chat, because it's
Sorry.
As it's being talked about in Discord right now. Will you be able to add support for the Wootility on other OSs besides Windows? And
so right now the platform we use to develop the utility on is Electron, so it's already cross-platform. But it doesn't mean. But then he also asked about how the analog input works on OS 6 and Linux. Honest question is, we're not 100% sure.
Well, the thing is, like, an Xbox controller won't natively work on a Mac or Linux, but I must say I've never tried it on a Linux computer. But if you can get a Xbox controller working on a Linux machine, the Wooting one will definitely work. And the same goes for Mac OS. If you get a Xbox controller working on a Mac OS, and there are a few drivers for that, for Xbox 360 controllers to make it work, and then the keyboard will work. But a big disadvantage of the whole Mac OS environment is the thing what I experience is, as soon as there's a new update, like every few months there'll be like, or every few weeks most of the time, there's a new update for Mac, and if you download it, there's a big chance that those drivers are completely screwed, and you have to wait till some people who, I don't know, like support this open source driver for Xbox controllers, who, I don't know, improve it or implement it in a new OS version. As soon as they have it working, you can get your Wooting 1 back working again. So we don't officially support analog control on Mac and Linux, as long as we don't have control over the drivers ourselves. So there will probably be a day, maybe this year, where we have like our own drivers for these two platforms, but until that time it's not officially supported for those two platforms. You can get it to work on it, but we don't officially support it yet. But the Wootility works in it, so you can adjust your RGB colors and set bindings if you want.
Yeah, and I don't know how I'm just thinking about, I'm not sure how clear it is for everybody about how we make analog work in games, because there's this new audience also watching, and this is the part. I mean, Erik mentioned multiple times Xbox controller support.
Well, I'm gonna do an extensive showcase during the game, because I found a beautiful game and it has controller support, but I didn't set it up, so I'm gonna set it up during the stream with you guys to make it work, so I can explain a bit more how it all works then later on.
That's a good idea. So let's then jump to the fourth topic, though I'm not sure if we should do the fourth topic about non-related gaming news.
Well,
and otherwise maybe just jump to the game. It's better.
we can do the news real quick, right? Speed news.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
the only thing that it was prepared before the stream.
Let's skip the only thing we prepared. No.
Okay. So this is your
quick
Hoons news
question
item.
first.
Oh,
Luke asked, would it work gaming if you plugged it into an Xbox? And the answer is no, because the Xbox uses some proprietary security, blah blah blah, for its hardware devices. So you cannot just make stuff for the Xbox. But it might be changing because they are working on like supporting all keyboards and mouse for the Xbox platform, because it all runs like the same OS now anyway. There's Microsoft One system, one rule, something, I don't know. But maybe in the future, but right now it doesn't.
okay. So each stream we also have a few news items which atone to ourselves and which really stand out to us. And this one is from Jeroen. The Mini SNES Classic launches in September for $80.
Yeah.
Keep it short.
Some of you might know I'm pretty passionate about Nintendo, and they did like this NES Classic version before, and also this SNES version right now. And I feel very, very conflicted about it because I think it's really cool, but I think it's really sneaky. It's really sneaky what they're doing, because they're making something which there's so much more they can do with this platform, because they limit it to a certain amount of games and blah 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 for some stupid reason. And what they probably also do on purpose, is make a very, very limited supply. So they're creating this sort of insane demand for a product which is not even complete, in my opinion. And I feel like they're only doing it to make something cool and, I don't know, make some sort of demand for it, and then on purpose produce not too many of them, so they get like more people talking about it. And I sort of feel like it's sort of part of their new marketing strategy or something. So on the one hand, Mini SNES is really cool. Yeah, and I also feel like, I don't know. I sort of feel being played with
The only opinion I have is I can't wait in 2 years when I get the Mini N64.
So sick.
I'm
gonna buy that one.
Device.
Yeah, but I think it's like marketing move. It's very, very smart, because there's so many people like me who like sort of grown up with these consoles, and they don't really identify with what Nintendo is doing right now, especially with the Wii U, of course, which is a huge flop. And now they're sort of jumping into this what is this word? Nostalgic feeling again, with what they do with the Switch as well, where they sort of brand it as this console you can play along with your friends, just like the old back in the days. And then they also release these old consoles, and yeah, I think it's smart what they're doing. Don't really agree with it, but yeah, whatever.
There's a very big market for nostalgia stuff. But
definitely. Nintendo.
But the only problem I see is that you're still going to hit is it's very attractive for people of our age, maybe still. Yeah, our age probably, yeah. And above. But it's not attracting any younger generation. So it's not attracting a new market or a new public. It's like, yeah. And in the end, this is a big marketing hype.
Yeah, it definitely is. And what Mensa said is so true, is that, he has this Raspberry Pi, which can do exactly the same, because they don't have an SD card reader, online shop downloads. And that's basically because they're only selling this sort of nostalgic box. And then also, and with that, like sort of limiting the supply, so it makes it seem more collectible and cool, even more collectible and cool.
Yeah.
And it's sort of basically this very limited collector item, which is purely made to sort of increase the hype around Nintendo. And that's what I don't really like, because they did have a very good opportunity to make something good out of it, but they really didn't. I don't know.
Well, a shame.
Let's
go to the next topic, Calder. Too bad.
One last thing is, isn't Nintendo just moving more to a mobile platform in the end? Because if you look at the hardware they're bringing out, with the what's the latest device name again?
Switch.
Switch. Oh, still. Oh yeah, Switch. Okay, the Switch basically. If that would have just been a smartphone
Zelda platform right now, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, besides the games, but I mean, hardware-wise, the performance-wise on hardware level, you could perhaps already run it on a good smartphone. I don't know.
Well, no, I think
Just saying
Nintendo always was
you don't
like
have a high-performing or dedicated hardware for it. You could just have a smartphone running the same shit, doing the same thing.
I think Nintendo was always like the #1 mobile game company. Because if you look at the Game Boy Color, the Game Boy Advance,
that was
DS,
such huge success. It's insane.
Yeah, it's really nice because they're always focused on mobile games and gaming on the go and more social gaming, so to speak. And I think they kind of lost track of it the last couple of years with the Wii and stuff. But they really reinvented their original concept with the Switch and also on mobile because you have the Mario Run game, and I think this year some more great Nintendo games will come out.
Animal Crossing is coming out as well. It's
for example,
sick.
That's pretty cool. But let's get to the next topic.
Yeah.
Nickelodeon enters esports as part of 15 million funding round for Super League Gaming. And Super League Gaming, I don't know, it's like a big company that kind of get all investors on board with sponsorships and contracts to organize these esport tournaments, like on a big scale from League of Legends to Dota, Hearthstone, StarCraft, you name it. But the interesting thing is that Nickelodeon now also is on board, and I think in the future we'll see like these more competitive games focused on a younger audience. And that's the thing I really get excited for. Nickelodeon. So, for example, like you're 8 years old, eating your cereal in front of the TV, breakfast, and then suddenly you see like this Minecraft build esport thing for kids. Like that's pretty cool. So I'm really hoping to see that they will also really attract a younger target audience to get them involved in esports. And if those people are hyped, those children, I mean, these are the future, then esports will get even bigger. So that's a really great thing. Let's get to the next topic because I'm really fast.
I just wanted to.
Okay.
No
fast.
mentioning about
Fast.
No time, caller. No time. Next topic.
Fast.
No,
10 seconds. 10 seconds.
No. You can look if you look at younger people now, and people that are in esports right now. Being an esport player is freaking. You're like a movie star, basically.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
And
I heard some people when I was crossing the border in Hong Kong. I was in this car and I heard these Chinese guys talking, young guys, and I couldn't understand a word what they're saying. But at one point, they were talking a lot about Fnatic. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, there you have it. I mean, and the younger generation, and the ones now younger than the young generation, they're all growing up with esports being a big thing, and also brothers learning from brothers kind of things, and sisters learning from brother and sister stuff. So Nickelodeon investing in it, yeah,
it's great.
Definitely, yeah. But it also says a lot about who's the target group right now for esports, where it's like the majority, where you can find the majority of your target group, which is apparently a bigger majority is in the younger generation. So.
Okay, next topic. German Chancellor Angela Merkel to open Gamescom 2017. How cool is that? I think it's a really big thing for at least the German gaming industry, because this kind of, I don't know, it kind of shows how cultural and economical impact gaming has in Germany and in Europe, I guess. So I got really excited when I saw this. I was like, oh yeah, Angela Merkel! Angela, well, I figured on a more serious note, it would be like more flipping crazy when Gabe Newell will open Gamescom. But looking at the bigger scale things, it's really amazing that Angela Merkel opened Gamescom 2017.
I mean, like, honestly, Gamescom is huge, so
that's pretty cool.
She recognizes gaming and and that's politically that's big, because it means there will probably be also more support from the government for these gaming and esports related stuff.
Hey, when is Gamescom anyway? Is it like summer this month or next month or
August?
When is it?
August this month. No, wait, next
and
month.
Eric,
so we have
be
a
there?
question already.
I will be there. I'm not sure on what day I will be there, but it will be at least one day there running around with a Wooting one. Somewhere.
So if you want to meet Eric with the Wooting one, give him a call, go to Discord, Twitter, whatever.
When the time comes, I'll let everyone know it. So the question you said?
Yeah,
no, that was the question is if you're going to be at Gamescom.
Okay.
Okay,
yeah, next.
We won't have anything representing a booth or something, but Eric will just go there, I think.
Okay, next news topic. StarCraft Remastered launching on August 14th. Yay! Okay, next news topic. Chinese President Xi Jinping arrives in Hong Kong as... No, I mean, StarCraft Remastered is pretty cool. We have a release date. Let's go, you know. Don't have to talk about it.
I think it's...
Yeah.
I'm sighing the whole time. But StarCraft gets remastered and released. I'm wondering, does it come with any changes?
No,
I didn't read the whole articles. No, right?
I don't think I'm gonna like it because I never liked the first StarCraft anyway. I'm not gonna like this game probably. I'm really.
It's not gonna. It's just like this NES. Yeah, it's not gonna attract this whole new audience or something. It's just gonna.
No, but I think this could attract the whole new audience because if there's nicer graphics, if they have the gameplay exactly the same, you know, it will attract esports people because StarCraft Broad War is still a esports thing. So. This could very well
way
be
too difficult for esports. I mean, it's way too difficult for mainstream esports.
Yeah, but that's why you have like this Instat model, StarCraft now. So with nice graphics, you can get to old school stuff.
Instat model. StarCraft 2 is a lot easier to play on a higher level.
It is
than StarCraft 1.
I think StarCraft 2 is easier, but on the other hand,
StarCraft 2 is already like. Dropped so much on viewership in esports and everything and player base. How the hell are they going to compete with that in StarCraft 1 then?
I don't know, but I think because StarCraft 1 is such a difficult game and because of the graphic style it has now, it kinda shoos people away to play it, and I think this remastered thing can get a big impact back on StarCraft Broad War.
I think only maybe at most in Korea there's like a bigger interest. I just don't see it happening. It's this nostalgia thing, and
maybe although on the other hand, like esports can definitely use a game like StarCraft. I mean, what do you have right now? You have Dota, like you have mobile games, but you have MOBA and shooters, but you have not a single RTS, right? Which is played competitively.
Yeah, but then I come back to again, like how is the first remastered StarCraft going to beat a StarCraft 2, which essentially is more simplified, easier to understand, and
I still wouldn't call StarCraft 2 easy or simplified.
No, but
remember when I played that game and tried to play it competitively? Oh man, every time I clicked that go button, my heart started pounding. It's just so intense. Holy shit.
The only thing I can do with StarCraft 2 is like really invest in a build. You know, like Google a build. Okay, I have to build this, and then I build everything, and it's like, okay, here comes the first battle. Oh, I lost. What should I do now? Holy shit! Oh, my workers! Oh, minerals! The base is under attack. No, we need more troops. Nah.
I really loved that time though. StarCraft 2.
It's like gold, and then it ends for me. Okay, next topic. Chinese President Xi Jinping arrives in Hong Kong as protesters arrested.
So I was in Hong Kong this week. I was there this week for some Switch stuff, and then I was at the airport, and there was this giant plane with Air China on it, and it looked very official. And apparently, it was the official plane Xi Jinping used to go to Hong Kong and take a visit there. And apparently, there was some demonstrations and stuff. Blah blah blah. I'm not going to talk about politics, but I thought it was cool that I saw the airplane.
So you have like this intense news article for the airplane. I just could have googled the airplane and it was like, oh, I saw the airplane.
I mean, I could talk about Chinese politics, but no. I mean, I don't really know much about it, so not very interesting. Well, it is interesting, but not like I talk about. Interesting.
So you saw this airplane?
Yeah, which one? It has like Air China on it?
Yeah, it says Air China. Okay, so the whole news topic is because Jeroen saw this airplane. It's beautiful.
Nice.
It's nice, right?
It's really beautiful. Okay, still.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
It's a double-decker
I mean, the guy, Xi Jinping, is kind of a big deal. So
I know.
And since we have so much stuff to do with China, I thought it would be. Well, I didn't think it was really appropriate, but I had to think of something, right?
It's true. China news is important.
Great. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. I'm gonna showcase the game. So you guys have to do the talking now.
Shit, our video will get banned in China.
Probably.
Oh.
My YouTube is blocked anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Kind of sucks. It really sucks, though.
Have any of
Okay,
you
so
guys
while X is trying the game.
beer float yet? What is a root beer float?
Not sure.
How to... Whoa, what the fuck is that? An ice cream is a beverage that consists of ice cream in either a soft drink or a flavored syrup and carbonated water. Huh?
What?
I've never had that before in my life.
Oh, you may be.
That looks kind of good.
Don't have the same thing in Taiwan. They have something else.
Root beer with vanilla ice cream. Fucking Americans don't know how to drink beer, man. I don't know.
Sugar so poor. Let's put Ericsson inside. They have something else in Taiwan, which is.
Oh, it's not actually beer, is it?
No, it's not ice cream. No, it's not beer. It's not, root beer is a soda, I think.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I mean, in Taiwan, you have this. You can get tea, and then on the top it has like this
American
foam,
sodas.
and this foam can be, it's more like a cream on the top layer, and it can be salty or sweet depending on what you want. So when you drink it, you get like a whole mustache. Trying to combine this, that's pretty nice.
Try a root beer float. Okay, I'll try it if I ever go to the US, which is hopefully. I'm not expecting to be anytime soon, but really, I've never been.
Yeah, there will be a good excuse for Wooting to go to the US. I hope there will be. CES in January, right? Yeah, but CES, my expectations are not high for CES, since what we heard on Keycap.
Yeah, it's still, I mean, it's still big, right?
Yeah, true. Still want to see it at least once.
Wooting meetup and root beer float party. That'll be sick. Yeah,
hey, it makes me think, is anybody planning to go to, I think it's the Portland Mechanical Keyboard meetup? I'm kind of doubting there is real mechanical keyboard people from US watching right now, but I think whole US is sleeping. I don't think about it. No, they're almost waking up.
They should be they should be wide awake, right? No, wait. How far behind is US?
13 hours-ish, depending on.
Okay.
See, Aiden is from US.
What time is it in US?
Oh, Luke is also from US. So is anybody going to the Portland Mechanical Keyboard meetup? Portland. Oh, damn it, man. Portland as in Portland? Or this...
OR? Oregano, is it?
Honestly... Oh, you live there? Honestly, I'm not sure if it's... Let's see. Portland.
How many Portlands are there? It sounds like a very generic name.
Yeah, it looks like it. It's on their Reddit right now. They had a small meetup, but we're going to do a bigger meetup.
Yeah. No, wait. Huh? It's already done.
No, wait. No. It's that's another one. We're sponsored. Oh my god, I totally forgot to tell. We're sponsoring that mechanical keyboard meetup. We're one of the sponsors, I have to say.
Never owned a mechanical keyboard, but I pre-ordered a Wooting from a local store. Woo!
Nice.
Jonathan Olsen,
I
assume it's from Sweden. I guess.
Or Denmark.
Yeah, that's the only way you can pre-order from a local store. This moment. It's
Okay.
gonna surprise me in the US.
Okay.
Damn, where's that link?
I wish I don't live near Portland. Is that a, I wish I didn't live near there, or?
Ooh. Let me try to find the page.
Isn't there like an email or something from a guy?
Yeah, I have an email.
Okay, let me just talk about the game. I'm going to showcase
Yeah,
a bit.
go.
It's called Metrico Plus, and I got no idea how that ended up in my Steam library. But the whole premises kind of spoke to me and kind of reminded me of Calder. Explore this unique world of infographics. All the bar charts, line diagrams, and pie charts react to what you are doing. Metrico Plus is a combination of exploration, skill, experimentation, but most of all, thinking outside the box. Are you smart enough to solve all the mysteries? So that's like Calder does daily at Wooting. Pie charts and line charts. And it kind of looked like
Are we hiring? Huh?
it kind of looks like a platform game, and that's why I started out with the Wootility in my analog profile, because I want to see how analog works in this game, with binding WASD to the left joystick and spacebar to the A button, because most side-scrolling platform games have like movement and jumping, right? So this is a good start, I guess. And I have the game started, but I'm not sure what's gonna happen now. So I'll see. The stream will also be kind of messy.
Oh no.
Can't wait for days. Games will just work with Analog without needing emulate controller. Oh, so Luke is saying I can't wait for the days games will just work with analog keyboards without needing to emulate the controller. Hopefully that day will come fast enough, but it definitely will happen in steps. And I think there's a really good chance that, and you can never be certain, but there's a really big chance that this is the first step, and it's definitely coming. It's definitely coming. Otherwise we wouldn't be doing this also, I guess.
Okay, I have to mess up the... I think I have to mess up something. Let me see. How can I do this?
Aiden, is it a mechanical keyboard though? Perhaps you have a... Doesn't say any brand on it.
Okay.
Oh, you can... Oh, lol. It doesn't show the email correctly, G Technology. You can send it to social@gmail. Social@wooting.nl. Old compact keyboard. It is mechanical though. Okay, you're playing the game, right?
Yes, I'm trying out analog, and so far it seems to work. Like I can let my little man walk slowly, and I can let my little man run very fast. That's promising. He can jump with spacebar, as expected. And I just made a pie chart, I guess. No, a line chart. So that's a good thing. And getting back to the point on how we implement analog into a game. At this moment we use either direct input or X input, and X input is the protocol that most of all Xbox 360 controllers use. So I'm now emulating, no, not really emulating, like the Wooting 1 is now an Xbox controller, so to say. Okay, so let's continue in this beautiful world of charts. Okay. I think this is really a game for Calder.
How does the binding the same key to multiple action work? I'm sure this has been covered. question by Jonathan. And I mean, we've shown it before, but we didn't really cover it properly yet. And that's because it's not implemented properly yet. I mean, the base is there and we demoed it, but it's not really ready. And I think next stream will definitely be there. So in 2 weeks we'll talk more about all the implementation details, because we're just not 100% sure yet. So.
Okay, I'm now kind of guessing that this is a puzzle game, and the more actions I do, the weirder it all gets. And I'm also noticing that the curve I'm using for playing it is really that responsive.
Voiceover translate at WeChat. Voiceover off.
Whoa, whoops. So when I press it, when I press it 3 times, it turns on dictate.
Okay, so the first thing I'm really noticing in this game is that the curve is completely off, and it doesn't feel like natural, because it takes me a while before my character gets moving slowly, and the ending it does something weird. So I think this is a nice curve to play around with. So what I'm now doing is I'm starting the starting point of the movement. I'm increasing it, so I have to press the key lower before it starts moving, and I have sort of a middle point that's more like spread out across the whole range. Oh wait, of course I should have saved it to the keyboard. Let me see. And this feels a lot more responsive, luckily. So I'm trying to continue. The character made a really nice slide. I have like Y is 200. Why would Y be?
Is there a way to assign an analog curve to multiple keys at once? Oh, I thought you were answering this. So the analog curve right now just works for every key that you use for analog, let's say, at the same time. So there's no individual curve or something. I mean, I guess it would be very hard. I mean, it's possible to implement one for every key, but it's very hard to do it on the keyboard, though.
To keep it saved on the keyboard, right?
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a recurring story more in the future about how in the end sometimes you will be limited to how much you can store onto the keyboard. But we have not hit that problem just yet.
Okay, so this is a pretty sweet game, actually.
Okay, so what is happening again?
I really don't know.
You run around?
I run around.
And then the line chart?
And line charts are
Are you
charts.
moving the block?
Yeah, I'm moving the block. So if I move to the left side with my A key, it goes up. When I go to the right, it goes down.
Oh, there you jump.
Yeah, and then I just jump back.
I fucked it up.
Wait, I'm doing completely wrong now. So I have to move. No, I have to move this way. Jump like this. Move back left again. Jump like this. Up, 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 up. Yes!
You have to go up.
I made it.
Oh yeah, stream's delayed. I was like, he's saying all this kind of stuff, but it's totally opposite from what he's doing.
Okay, so now I'm jumping to get the
How
the
do they compile to Gal or Gator? I think the Flaretech blues are very, very similar to Gatoron blues. As for the reds, I can't really say because I've never used the reds before from Gatoron.
I have a bunch of threads of Gate from Gatoron here. And,
so I guess I'll
lighter.
get the few moves are like for the first time when I type do real for me.
I think this is
Few
the
moves
it's gonna
every
be
day on my keyboard.
biggest selling point for Wooting, and everybody.
Oh, I was kidding. Okay.
Okay, Carla, I really need help with this one.
Whoa.
So if I jump, this platform goes down and that thing goes completely down. So I think I can jump.
And when you move,
on
it goes back up.
Okay, so I can jump on it and I don't have to move, and it goes back to the left. This game is really weird. But does analog benefit this game? Well, actually, it kind of does, I guess, because you can move like slowly and the block goes slowly. I mean, that's
Kind of. I think with many games, in the end, it's it enhances the experience, but doesn't make or break the game.
To think that these guys spent over a year marketing this as an awesome keyboard, and it ends up being a silly comment from Linus Tech that sells it.
Lol.
Will forever be known as the keyboard that feels like boobs.
The real key type.
well, does it really feel like boobs? I mean, I kind of laughed about it. Maybe it's true in some way. I mean, boobs are pretty nice. This keyboard is pretty nice, so I get where they were coming from. Okay, so let's get over this line chart. This line chart looks kind of negative.
Blue switch though.
It goes down, so the character can slide really cool. I'm gonna jump over this one and slide even more.
I guess the takeaway of it feeling like boobs is that it's very smooth.
Did Linus do? Yeah, Linus, or at least the channel, did a video about optical keyboards where I also mentioned it. They didn't do like a full video yet about the Wooting keyboard, but it's in their optical keyboards video. That's pretty cool.
Can I die in this game? Oh man, I can die.
Getting awkward.
Oh well, we'll see it in a minute. And
Okay, so it's
Nope.
pretty interesting. So I had to die for this to work.
oh wow, okay.
Interesting. Okay, so it can be really a cool game, I guess. It's like a puzzle game. It's always at the beginning was
Luke
kind
Cage?
of boring. So I'm guessing that I would.
Are they going? Is
Are they
Linus
going
Tech
to
Tips
do
going
a
to do a
full
full video
video?
call? I think they are, right?
They are going to do a full video, but they're waiting for us to send the final version of the keyboard, which they don't have, which I guess they could use the keyboard they have, actually, but the top plate of that keyboard is
Yeah.
wrong. The top plate they have is a brushed top plate, and in the final version, we decided to have a different type of top plate, which is a sandblasted top plate. And the reason why the brushed top plate was too sensitive to fingerprints and dirt in the end, much more than we anticipated, and much more than the sample we had. And the sandblasted doesn't have the same issue and looks a lot better. I think for the rest there's no real difference though.
Isn't the analog input for left and right both mapped to the same key? As in, yeah, if you look at like a left joystick, then if a left joystick is mapped to WASD, then indeed like the left joystick y-axis is mapped to both W and S. If that's what you're saying. That makes any sense at all.
I think the trigger keys have a single axis, right?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, because
The button's single axis, yeah.
yeah, you can just sort of the joystick has like this plus and minus, and the trigger key just has one thing. So basically, you just map one to the plus and one to the minus for the joystick.
But I think the trigger keys is one is always binding to the plus, other one's always binding to the minus. I think.
No, the trigger keys don't have a plus and minus. That's the.
Oh, okay. I thought they were on the
As in-
same axis or something. Right.
No, they're actually different. Are they?
Oh, okay.
No, they're different. Wait, no, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Never mind. Doesn't really matter. It's been a while since I implemented that whole thing into the firmware. So
It's like almost a very long time ago. Yeah. Oh, so in the next update, we'll have double keystroke also working in the Wootility, which already works on the firmware right now.
Yeah, that was
Okay, we'll have that in next stream. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, I'm feeling that we're nearing the end here.
No. It's just starting.
Erik is really enjoying the game. And I can see why though. It's an interesting puzzle game.
It's but the puzzles are way too easy. I didn't get any challenge yet, and I'm already in like 10 minutes. I mean, stuff is happening now. I mean, a ghost is leaving my body or something
this
in
is
a mirror,
interesting.
and so now I have like this purple man and this.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool style.
Yeah.
But
and Aiden mentioned something really sharp, to say it in that way. I wish certain games didn't have arbitrarily restrict. I wish certain games didn't arbitrarily restrict input to one type, like Skyrim. So that's exactly how it works, yeah. So meaning that with the wooden keyboard, where you're trying to do analog movement with your character in Skyrim, it works, but it disables your mouse, so you can't use your mouse looking around. And then if you stop moving, you can look around with your mouse.
But
And
here's
it's
where
kind of like one of the...
where the double keystroke is pretty interesting.
That's, yeah, exactly where double keystroke makes it interesting.
Hopefully
Because
we
you can then...
completely done and everybody can
Yeah.
see it. And everybody can
See in the next live
test it
stream.
with us on their own wooden ones. And I'm just completely amazed what's
Oh,
happening.
this is a good question from Brady. If full range analog keyboards are possible later, can we just change the switch in our wooting, or do we need to switch the whole keyboard, or is it too early to say that? I have to say that it's too early to say that, but we're doing our best since the beginning to make sure it's as easy as changing the switch. And at the moment it looks like that could be the case, but it's really hard to say because of the last two productions and what we've experienced and what influences what, and every time learning something new also, and it's really hard to say if it's going to be that easy or not.
No.
And
Yeah, but it's definitely it will definitely be the aim.
Oh.
And what we want to avoid as much as possible is to just come out with a version next year that will just be
Okay, we have a
better.
really
There's
neat
no-
development now in the game. So I thought you only need to bind like WASD and spacebar, but now it also I need to use the B button on the Xbox controller. So I'm heading back to the Wootility, and I will assign the B key to F, I guess. I mean, that's pretty neat.
I like how Eric is making this interactive demo.
No, this. Oh wait. I'm missing one big important thing is, and I have the F button bind it, so it needs to be green, so I know where to type. Okay, let's see what happens when I press F. But what?
Bind again.
I can teleport now. Bloop. Okay, so with B I can teleport. Bloop.
All right, awesome.
I like how we always hear what, because there's a slight delay on stream, so we always hear what Eric is saying immediately, and then we see something on the stream way later.
Okay, so it went from a mediocre puzzle game to Portal, side-scrolling, and I'll probably have to mix it up, so I have to change it. What?
Just one last thing I would like to add to the whole range and keyboards story is that in the end, our biggest interest is in making sure that everybody that has a Wooting run right now, also getting it right now, do our best to make sure that you can also enjoy future developments without, having to make a major upgrade, meaning as an entire new keyboard or something. And we'll always do our best, even if that means, let's say it does mean that we need to have a whole new keyboard or a whole new PCB, for example, or something is different, then still, if you own a Wooting 1, you're going to get benefits, as in we will still consider you, knowingly that you support us. So, and you'll have a benefit into jumping into a further development of the technology. I'm saying this and I'm looking at the stream, and it's so mesmerizing. Sorry.
Yeah.
This, right?
But it's actually a very important message I'm trying to say here. It's a very important message I'm trying to say here is that the way we work and the way we've been working from the start is that now you're supporting us, and it's also especially for the Kickstarter backers. You're supporting us right now, and to us that means a lot. And that's how we, also in the future development of anything we do, you reap the benefits of supporting us in general. And I think that's a very important point, because we also know it really sucks if you get a product and then 1 year later it's better, and and then you're looking back at the one you have and you feel like, well, shit, I want to have that new one, and then you need to buy like a whole new product again, and it sucks. While you're the one that was there early and supported the whole project. So yeah.
What there's red bars for?
I don't know, but I'm getting squashed now, I guess.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, so guess we'll finish up. Hey, Eric.
No, wait.
Yeah,
Let me finish this
Eric
puzzle.
is really enjoying this game, eh?
No. Okay, I need to finish this puzzle. I'm really close to solving it. Let's see.
this. I'm so mesmerized by the game. I don't know why.
Me too. And I also don't know why.
I'm not the one playing it though. Okay. And this has been the only thing I've ever backed on Kickstarter. Same.
Okay.
If I saw it when it was on Kickstarter, I would have supported it. Yeah. Thanks for saying this, guys. I think it's also very cool that we're the first project you've backed on Kickstarter. I personally backed a very few things on Kickstarter before, but if I would have to back anything on Kickstarter right now, I would have like really big doubts.
I would only back analog keyboards on Kickstarter. Only wooden products on Kickstarter. Would never back anything else.
I think we
I know how. No, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, we sort of backed the CMOS project, like with the three of us, and because we thought they were doing a very simple thing, which I still think they do, and I don't think we really regret that, right, Eric? You're using it, right?
Yeah, I used it. So all the mouse clicks you saw was thanks to the Z-mouse. I must be honest, and I didn't have really time to delve into it because I only have it for like 1 week, and it's a lot of cool things you can do. For example, you have like this. Our mouse says Wooting. Focus, please. Focus. Oh. See? Our mouse says Wooting 1 on an LCD display. And I think it's a really cool product, and it's a shame I didn't have really time to invest in it, but so far I'm really enjoying it. It feels kind of sturdy, and yeah, I'm not sure it improved my game that much, but my mouse clicks got definitely better. Never missed a mouse click.
No. It's pretty cool that we get these comments from people that back to Kickstarter, because we do put a lot of effort, because we ourselves are also very like frustrated with how sometimes these Kickstarter projects go. So
yeah, we thought. I remember in the beginning we thought like, oh, we're not going to be like those other Kickstarters, which constantly have a delay.
Okay, there's this, but it's also like how you handle your whole delay part, right? I mean,
right now,
the delay is still not good. I mean, could we have prevented it?
Maybe
no,
one
I
delay.
don't think so.
You could have prevented one delay, I guess, but the other is just more of an experience thing, kind of thing, and.
Yeah.
But then again, the thing with the delays is, each time we're kind of close to, oh my god, we're having a delay now, it's so stressful. Okay, what are we gonna tell the people now? We have to disappoint them again. Is there any other solution? Do we have to disappoint them? And then 1 week later, most of the time we have an update with all the ins and outs, and we kind of noticed that as long as we're honest and communicating like what the issue is at the moment and why we have to delay, it works the best.
Yeah.
So being honest, I guess. Still, it's painful to have a delay, but there won't be delays anymore now.
Yeah, and I guess we can end this live stream on a note of saying that why we have these live streams and what are we planning to do in the future is to keep maintaining the way we've been doing everything, as in being transparent and honest and sharing as much as we can, and definitely listening and being there for you guys also. And no matter how big or small the audience is, just like today, doesn't have to be like a big bang. More important is about how you guys feel about what we're doing and how the product is, and hopefully we can just make great stuff together, basically. So now we have Wooting 1. We'll see what's next. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the stream. Yeah, it's a very long stream. Wait, almost 2 hours? Usually we're planning these streams always should be 1 hour-ish, but it was really great. I definitely enjoyed.
Yeah, we had a lot of questions. That was really cool.
Yeah, for sure. So thank you guys for asking questions and being active on the chat also and talking with us. It was really fun to do. I don't know if you and Erik have something to share.
I'm trying to finish this puzzle, so so we should really end the stream now.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
I think this stream, I don't know, we always sort of struggle with the stream format, and we still struggle today because we were very late. But I really like this whole setup, and I liked how many questions we got. I think a lot of new faces as well. So that's cool. So in 2 weeks we'll be streaming again. So definitely tune in again. And
in the next stream we only answer questions that are being typed with a Wooting 1. So.
Well, what?
Obviously, we can see when you type with Wooting 1.
We can
2
see
weeks. Yeah, we can see everything. What do you think? We just have an analog keyboard? CIA, no.
Well.
So, before ending it, what's the name of the game, Erik?
Metrico Plus. So be sure to check it out. And
shout out to Metrico Plus. Not sponsored content at all.
Yeah, let's put our Steam/Amazon/ what is it, Penguin /GTA.
This is Erik's side business. We don't know about Calder.
Oh, that would be pretty cool, right?
I think it's suspicious that Erik always picks the games for the stream.
Oh, we should really do that. And have like this affiliation link with Amazon, and and if you buy this game, you get a 10% discount. You would buy and well, the game is now only €4.90 because of the Steam Summer Sale. Normally it's €14. And let me see who the developers are. I don't even know who the developers are. Digital Dreams. And they're known for the titles of Metrico Plus. I don't know. Interesting game.
Expecting some payouts from the Digital Dreams now.
Interesting games.
Okay, so we're going to close the stream, and we're just going to do this final question.
Wait.
Yeah.
Digital Dreams is a developer who's located at the Dutch Game Garden. Ah! Shout out to the Dutch Game Garden.
Okay.
Hey, the Indigo event we went to last year was last week. I saw it online somewhere.
That's why it's such an amazing game. It's a Dutch product. So everyone, go to digitaldreams.games.com and buy. Nah, interesting. Okay, cool.
Definitely. Okay, so just answer V's question here. Will you be selling spare parts like switch or top plates separately later? I regret not backing the premium package. On the roadmap is selling switches and top plates separately later. Top plates might be a little bit later than switches. We're taking a look at how we can best do it. We're more focused right now on getting the product running, both on delivery and production side, but we're working on it. So when we get close to that time of it coming out, we will definitely start talking about it. So we'll be back in 2 weeks again with a live stream. You can mark it in your agenda. Maybe we'll start the live stream a bit later that time because we can grab more people from US. I'm not sure, but it's usually between 9. It's 9 or 10 o'clock. We usually start, and you'll see some announcements on our channels when that happens. Definitely go to our Discord channel to stay in tune with the rest of the people that have a Wooting One, the rest of the team.
Link to the Discord channel.
And who obviously have a link to the Discord channel in the chat. On the Discord channel, you can also ask questions. We're very, very fast answering questions on Discord, and you can talk about random stuff. Yes, because of the Wooting help, and I'll link it now in the chat. This should bring you to the Discord. Otherwise, you can always send an email to social@wooting.nl, but honestly, when it gets a bit too busy, we're slow on answering there, but it's the best way to make sure you get an answer back if we're not answering at all. So, which doesn't happen often though. All right, so see you guys in 2 weeks, and thank you for joining the stream.
Bye everyone.
Thank you.
Oh wait, I should stop the stream, right?
I'm
Wait.
Still in the game.
No, I have to untap it. Wait.